Okay, this is grade 9. This is your 3-question formative quiz on operations of rational numbers in decimal form with a calculator. So for this particular quiz, we have 3 questions, all applying order of operations. Your goal is to estimate first and then calculate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate first over here on the side. And I'm going to round each of these numbers to the nearest whole number. Okay, so 2.5, I'm going to make a positive 3. 1.2 is going to become 1 multiplied by negative 4. So all I did is I rounded to the nearest whole number. Now I'm going to estimate without a calculator, just using my bed math skills. It's going to be 3 plus negative 4. So my estimation is going to be negative 1 for this particular one. So I know my answer is going to be negative when I do the work. So when I actually physically do the work, I know order of operations means I have to do my multiplication first. So I'm going to bring down this 2.5 plus, right? That's not a positive symbol, that's a plus. And that's a positive 1.2 even though it's not written. Okay, so I'm going to put plus. And then I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to say, what is the product of 1.2 and 3.8? So 1.2 multiplied by 3.8. I'm going to multiply it against 4.56. I'm going to use brackets of 4.56 in brackets. And because it's a positive multiplied by a negative, it's going to be a negative 4.56. Okay, so I have my negatives in brackets and separated from the addition. And now I'm going to bring up that calculator one more time. Shouldn't have closed it. And I'm going to actually make this negative. If you want, actually, we'll keep it Nordic just so I don't confuse people. So 2.5 plus 4.56. Now, because it's negative, I'm going to put the negative button there. So then I can see up here, it's 2.5 plus a negative 4.56. I'm going to press the equal sign. And it's going to say negative 2.06. Now, technically, I could have put in, because of, it doesn't matter the order in which you add two terms, it's still going to give you the same sum. I could have put negative 4.56 first, negative 4.56 first, and then positive 2.5 net, and still got that. But that's the expectation. So the expectation is you show me your work here, first step, and then you simplify to get an answer, okay? And same thing over here with your estimation. Question number 2, I'm going to estimate first. So I'm going to go, excuse me, negative 2 multiplied by 4 not 4 decimal something, but 4 take away 6. That is going to be negative 2 multiplied by, now 4 take away 3 equals 1. 4 take away 4 equals 0. 4 take away 5, we're getting into negative numbers, and 4 take away 6 is equal to negative 2. I'm still shocked at how many people think 4 take away 6 is a positive 2, but it is a negative 2. I'm going to keep it in brackets. And then 2 times 2 is 4. A negative times a negative is a positive. So my estimation for this one is going to be a positive 4. In BEDMAS here, we have a multiplication here, and we have brackets. We know we're supposed to do the brackets because it's the first letter in BEDMAS. So grab my calculator. I say, what is 4.2 take away 5.7? It's going to tell me it's a negative 1.5. So my next line is going to be negative 2 multiplied by negative 1.5. And hopefully you don't need to use a calculator for this, but if you do, just go 2 multiplied by 1.5. Since it is a negative times a negative, my answer will be positive, and it's positive 3. So our estimation was 4, our calculation was positive 3. And finally, the last question was the one that caused the most problems. I'm going to estimate down here first. So I'm going to go 2 times negative 3, and I'm going to put that in square brackets. And the reason why we're using square brackets here is because there's already round brackets right there. So rather than, oh, so that's not what I wanted, 2 times negative 3 in square brackets. Take away, not a negative. This is not a negative symbol. That's a subtract. Take away 5.25 divided by negative 0.05. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually say divided by a positive, or take away, excuse me, a positive 5.25 divided. Just make sure you understand that is a subtraction sign. And since there is no integer sign, it's a positive 5.25 because there is no integer. It's a subtraction and a positive 5.25. So I have to estimate. So I'm going to make this a positive 5. Oops, I forgot I was estimating. So a positive 5 divided by 0.05. Now I'm going to keep this number right here as 0.05 because we said for our estimation we're going to think money. And since that's a nickel, That's not too hard to think about. I'm going to show you how to do it. So brackets first. 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. I do not need to have square brackets anymore, just that. Take away, and I'm going to just write this down as 5 divided by negative 0.05. I'm just going to keep the whole thing there. Or if you want a positive 5, whatever you want to do. Now negative 6, take away whatever $5, remember this is the money you have, this is how we estimate, $5 divided into piles of nickels. Right? If you had $5 divided into piles of nickels, well, $1 is 20 nickels. So $5 would be 100 nickels, right? So this is a subtraction symbol that stays there. And it's a positive 5 divided by a negative 0.05. So my estimation is going to be a negative 100 nickels, if that makes sense. And this is important because now we're going to keep flip change. And negative 6 plus positive 100 is going to give me an estimation of positive 94. That's roughly what my answer is going to be, positive 94. I'll just write that up here, estimation, positive 94. Okay. And now we're going to use our calculator and get the answer. So the same thing happens here. So I'm going to take my calculator and say, what is 1.5 multiplied by negative 3.1? It's going to tell me negative 4.65. And I'm just going to keep the rest of it here. Okay. And now I'm going to go, okay, this is a subtraction, so I'm going to go negative 4.65, take away, and I'm going to think about this here, because that's a subtraction symbol. This is the rest of the, this is my division statement, 5.25, not negative 5.25, but 5.25. Bring it over here. 5.25 divided by decimal 0.5 negative is going to equal negative 105. So since this is subtraction, my negative 105 has to go in brackets to separate it from the subtraction symbol. I'm going to keep, flip, change. I got negative 4.65. If you need a calculator for this, just grab it. It's no big deal. We're going to go to, okay, say 4.65, which are negatives, plus 105 equals 100.35 positive. So positive 100.35. My estimation was 94. My calculation was 100.35. That's pretty darn close. So this is the most confusing part for people, realizing that's subtraction and not a negative, and that this is a positive 5.25 and not a negative, since the subtraction sign was right next to it.